Micron shares are lower. Morgan Stanley downgraded the stock in a note titled, "Memory Winter is Coming. It is our call of the day." Okay, Doc, what do you do here? Down 7 1/3% with your position here.
Well, I had to exit mine, Scott. I love, of course, patting myself on the back when I'm right. And when we're wrong, I overstayed my welcome in this one, Scott. Had to cut the losses on these calls. They are actively buying puts, which is another reason that I know I'm wrong. They're buying the September 62.50 puts today. That was with the stock at almost $70. So they're predicting, or at least protecting, whichever way you'd like to look at it, for another $8 decline out of this stock. That's not one I want to hold on to, Scott. So they've been buying puts the last couple days. Today it started accelerating again, and I said, that's enough for me.
Weiss, you used to love this one. And you sold it, I think, last month or so. You mentioned it on the program that you had sold it. I'm wondering what you think about the call. You sold it, you got out at the right time, I guess. What would get you back in? Down 7 1/3%. Is that enticing to get back in?
Yeah, and I just looked. I sold it June 29th through July 2nd. So over that period, I had sold it. Look, I had bought it as a trade. It's a commodity stock. These are trades. To me, this is Coke and Pepsi. And the bull argument is that, no, there are only 3 players now. They're all rational pricers. So, look, you got to own this thing. It's going to 100. It never gets there. These things always look cheap. I don't know that I'll get back in. I've got enough semi-exposure the other way, with what I've mentioned before, Skyworks, Corvo. I'd rather buy Qualcomm on dips. They're much less commodity. There's much more intelligence. I don't really mean that. Much more technology that goes into their chips, and they get designed in so you can't switch which you're using one for the other. So a Hynix for a Micron. You've got to stick with, like, the Skyworks, because you based your design on it for the last 5 years. So I'm not rushing again. If it goes low enough, yeah, I think it'll be a trade. But I think it's a good call by Morgan Stanley. I've been watching pricing. It's a gutsy call. Pricing's been going up, but capacity is coming on, and that's what they're talking about.
All right, now,
so it may be overdone, actually, a little here.
More broadly, Jenny, you still own Intel, and you own Applied Materials, and those are the 2 ways you're playing the chip space, and that's it, correct?
That's it. And interestingly, though, we did sell Seagate a few months ago, which is looking like a pretty good, pretty well-timed call. That, too, just saying, like, hey, that side of memory had gotten a little peaked out, and recognizing that when you do play in the memory space, it's really cyclical. Yeah, so the Intel and the AMAT, totally opposite investment returns on those 2, but both are important parts of the portfolio. Intel just chugging along. One day, I know I get made fun of for this, but like one day I'm sure that we will get the nice return we need out of it. And then AMAT for that exponential growth, where you don't need to make a bet on the semi-cycle. You just know that as there's increased demand, there's increased demand for equipment. So it really covers the whole space.
We're coming up on the 10th anniversary of the halftime report. So one day, whatever that time frame is, Jenny, I hope I'm still doing the show and you're still on it. And we can have that conversation.
I'm just hoping it's before September 17th
one day
of this year.
Remind me when that day happens. We'll be sure to note it.
I'll be very loud about it.
I'm sure you will. Lastly, Josh Brown, NVIDIA, I'm looking at it here. It's, $10 off its high. And that, I think, got another positive call today. What else is new?
Yeah, this has been the best stock in the world, I guess. Probably. I don't know. To call it a chip stock, I think, is to really miss the point. They own the programming language that's going to power the AI revolution. I can't overstate how important this is as a platform company. This is not just stamping microchips and sending them out. You're going to see the Fortune 500 basically spend the next decade automating as many of their processes and procedures as they can, and this is going to be the company that enables that activity. So obviously, a lot of that is being priced in already. It's not a cheap stock, but it never has been a cheap stock, and continues to work and find new ways to impress the street. So hopefully that continues. I'm long. I'm not going anywhere.